Hello and welcome to this edition of FYI Weekly, your official source for City of Greensboro news and information. If you live in the city limits, the Water Resources Department needs your help to determine where underground lead piping still exists on private and commercial property. The Water Resources Department's Lead and Copper Compliance Program is an opportunity for homeowners and business owners to weigh in. These groups are asked to locate the indoor section of their service line, test the line's material to see what it is, and then report the results to the City of Greensboro. The entire process should take no more than 15 minutes. Knowing the type of materials service lines are made of helps the staff at Water Resources to inventory those lines and identify potential risks of lead exposure. Step-by-step instructions on locating your service lines and how to report your findings, which is referred to as the survey, are available on the city's website. Greensboro Downtown Parks Incorporated has hired Cheryl White as its executive director. She assumes her new role this week. White previously served as the executive director for the Elizabeth Trail Foundation in Norfolk, Virginia. She served as the face of the foundation and led its finance, administration, fundraising, and marketing operations. Ms. White said this is an amazing opportunity to join Greensboro Downtown Parks and the greater Greensboro community. Holding space for meaningful and memorable connections in urban settings, whether through nature, art, or play, is something I am very passionate about. I look forward to building on the organization's impressive legacy of creative placemaking and engaging, fun for all events. White also served as director of Glass Wheel Studio, gallery director of the Suffolk Art Gallery, cultural coordinator at the Chrysler Museum of Art, and an adjunct instructor at Old Dominion University, all in Norfolk. White holds a Master of Arts in Humanities and a Bachelor of Arts in Art History, both from Old Dominion University. Public meetings are scheduled to discuss proposed updates to the downtown Greensboro Historic District's current listing in the National Register of Historic Places. The updates and public input will be recorded during a meeting at 6 p.m. on Thursday, January 19th at the Greensboro History Museum in the auditorium. The museum is located at 130 Summit Avenue. The city's Historic Preservation Commission will hold a public hearing on the proposed updates at its meeting on Wednesday, January 25th. They will assemble at 4 p.m. in the plaza-level conference room of the Melvin Municipal Office Building, located at 300 West Washington Street. Downtown's historic district was added to the National Register in 1982, and in 2018 there was a public push for the city to update that listing. In 2021, the city's planning department hired HMW Preservation of Durham to resurvey the downtown district thanks to a grant from the Federal Historic Preservation Fund. The firm recommends the following action items: expanding the downtown Greensboro Historic District to include mid-20th century resources such as the Governmental Plaza Complex, outlined by West Market Street, North Green Street, West Washington Street, and South Eugene Street. Extending the district's period of significance to 1963 to include the city's civil rights marches and events. Representatives from HMW Preservation, the North Carolina Historic Preservation Office, and city planners will attend the January 19th meeting. The final proposal of updates to the downtown Greensboro Historic District's listing will be presented to the North Carolina National Register Advisory Committee on Thursday, February 9th. Cone Health has partnered with the city to share a series of brief and informative videos designed to inspire you to make better choices when it comes to healthy living. Following these tips is an easy way to help each of us improve our quality of life. Let's take a moment to check out today's news for your health.
I am Dr. Rosalind Hicks, an allergist from Allergy and Asthma Center of North Carolina, a member of Cone Health Medical Group. Let's get started and talk about allergies. Allergies or the common cold. Very similar entities. They both consist of a lot of congestion, runny nose, sneezing. Typically with the common cold, you're going to have, starting out, a little more scratchy throat, sore throat, and you often a little bit of fever. Both can have cough because of the postnasal drip, and you're going to feel a little lousy with the common cold, will run down, dehydrated, those kind of things. And then with allergies, it can be any time of year. Cold may be more common in the winter season, and allergies can be with exposure. You just mow the lawn, did you just take care of the cat or dog, did you just clean out the attic with lots of dust. So those are the things we think about to differentiate between a common cold and allergies. The common triggers kind of fall into two categories: indoor, outdoor, seasonal or year-round. So in the spring, we think a lot about tree pollen, followed by grass pollen and weed pollen, and then we have dust, mite, cockroach, mold, which can be indoors and out, and then any kind of furried animal, dog, cat, gerbil, any of those. So clearly if we're sensitive to the animals, then we shouldn't have animals, we shouldn't be exposed to them, but we can't really control completely pollen exposure. So if you go outside, if you're doing something involving that exposure, then wearing a mask if you have to mow the grass, wiping off your hands and feet, taking off your shoes before you walk through the house so you don't track the pollen through, minimizing the window being down as you ride down the road, and wiping off the cats and dogs when they come in from their walk so the pollen is not throughout the house and on the furniture, those kind of things. Well, of course, avoidance would be the biggest action that we could participate in to try to minimize symptoms, but side of that, adding medications to minimize the congestion, sneezing, runny nose. I'm a huge proponent of saline rinse, and so that's something easy that's not medicated. It's just salt water flushing out or clearing out the nasal passages so we can take away those allergens that we've been breathing in. I think it is very important to prepare for allergy season so that you can minimize your suffering and you don't have so much congestion and headache or disrupted activity. I like to encourage people to start their medications around Valentine's Day, and usually that'll minimize their symptoms and they can go into the allergy season ahead and symptom-free. It is important for individuals to think about allergy testing if they're having lots of symptoms, uncontrolled symptoms, they've tried multiple medications, or they feel like there's one specific thing that they're really interested in knowing that they're allergic to. And especially if you have upper and lower airway symptoms, if you're coughing and wheezing, then that has become quite the standard for management to consider allergy injections. And we need to know exactly what you're allergic to be able to put in your specific vial so that we can manage you with the injections if we have the positive testing available there. And in the situation where you may be food allergic, having allergy testing can be very informative to know what to avoid. Thank you for joining us. I hope all this information has been helpful to decrease.
If someone in your neighborhood leaves their garbage container in the street longer than they should, the city has a solution, and calling all teenagers who want to take center stage. We'll have those stories and more news coming up after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. The Trash and Recycling Container Compliance Program allows the city to issue a $25 fee when households repeatedly leave trash or recycling containers in the street, creating a nuisance to the neighborhood. In order to avoid a fee, be sure trash and recycling containers are at the curb no more than 48 hours from 7 a.m. the day before service to 7 a.m. the day after your service day. This 48-hour window is twice as long as the previous policy, giving more flexibility. The program is complaint-driven. City staff will issue a warning for the first violation and a courtesy removal of containers out of the right-of-way. Afterwards, each occurrence will be charged $25 fees if city staff have to remove containers from the curb. This will be a rolling 12-month fee. If no violations take place within 1 year of the previous fee, a new warning will be issued for the next violation. Submit complaints to the city's contact center at 336-373-CITY. For more information, visit the city's website. Rainy weather and short staffing resulted in the city extending the loose leaf collection program. The second and final round of pickup will take place from today through Friday, February 10th. A large number of leaves fell within the first few weeks last season, getting things off to a slow start. City crews have been working hard, collecting more than 7,600 tons of leaves so far. That's 2,800 more tons than the amount collected this time last year. Stay in the know by checking the interactive map on the city's website to see where your neighborhood falls on the leaf collection route. Leaves are collected year-round. Simply put them in a clear plastic bag or a plastic or metal garbage can. Crews will collect the leaves on your regular trash collection day. The leaves are converted into compost and sells for $20 per truckload at the White Street landfill. Please note, loose leaves on private streets are not collected. For more information, call the contact center at 336-373-2489. Creative Greensboro, in collaboration with Shared Radiance Performing Arts Company, will hold auditions for William Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. Auditions will be open from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Monday, January 23rd and Tuesday, January 24th in the Stephen D. Hires Theater at the Greensboro Cultural Center. The casting team encourages a racially diverse group of teens ages 12 to 18 of all genders to try out for ensemble and solo roles. No prior acting experience is required. Actors can audition with a prepared monologue or read from the script. In-person rehearsals will be held on evenings and weekends as schedules permit, with performances happening from March 16th through March 19th. This production is Shakespeare's timeless tragedy, Romeo and Juliet, taking place in the middle of all the fashions, trends, and pop culture of 1980s America. The universal experience of young love and teen angst become magnified through the lens of high school rivalries, bullying, warring cliques, and forbidden relationships. Staying true to Shakespeare's language, the tragic themes are amplified with a modern backdrop of the 1980s. The Greensboro Cultural Center is located at 200 North Davie Street. For more information and to register for an audition time, please visit the city's website. The first month of this new year is coming to an end, but it's not too late to make a New Year's resolution. Coming up after the break, find out how each of us can resolve to be better environmental stewards. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. A new year comes with an opportunity to try new things or to try to do better. One area we can always do better is with waste and recycling. Joining me now to introduce us to the concept of wasteless resolutions is Macy DeMoss. She is the Recycling and Waste Reduction Educator for the City of Greensboro. Hello, Macy. Welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Good to see you. Welcome to 2023. We want to get people off to the right start. A lot of New Year's resolutions are floating around. Maybe some people are resolving to do better when it comes to cutting back on waste.
Yep.
So what is a wasteless resolution? What does that consist of?
So a wasteless resolution is just a way for you to try to do better for reducing your waste in the new year. Try to cut back in several different ways. It could be recycling better. It could be trying to buy things with less packaging or just decluttering your home. There's a variety of ways to do that.
Okay, well, let's give some examples. So what are the easiest ways for people who are new to this or they really don't want to have a broken resolution? What are easy ways to reduce our waste?
Okay, so we can start with some simple swaps that people could do. And this doesn't require really buying anything new much. But the first thing is like a low-hanging fruit. That is swapping out your single-use water bottles that you could use 6 or 8 of these a day maybe for a reusable water bottle. It could be a plastic, metal, and a lot of us might have these around our homes and we can just swap out using plastic, single use for a reusable water bottle. Okay. The next thing is paper towels. So we could swap out using single-use paper towels. We're going to use these one time. They've had to be bleached. They come from trees being processed, and they're wrapped in plastic usually. So we could swap these out for something like a reusable napkin that we can wash and use over and over, or maybe like a towel. If you're cleaning, you could use paper towels to clean your counters instead using a towel that you can wash and reuse.
Sure.
We can swap out plastic for aluminum in a variety of different ways. That could be hand soap, it could be shampoo, it could be swapping like from plastic Mountain Dew bottles to aluminum cans, you know. And then lastly, we could swap out any plastic bags for reusable bags. That could be like grocery bags, or here in this case, we have Ziploc bags that you can wash and reuse.
Oh, dishwasher wash or regular?
Yeah, you can put them in the dish. Most of them you can put in the dishwasher.
Oh,
You'll have
that's
to check, but
fantastic. Okay, that's a new one. I've not seen that. I'm going to look for those. Now, those are clearly swappable things people probably, as you said, have around the house. Do you have tips for people who want to reduce their carbon footprint in general?
Yeah, just in general, I think one great way, waste related at least, is to just look for less packaging. So maybe you like oranges. Instead of buying oranges in a plastic bag or oranges in a mesh bag, just buying them loose, so like loose produce, or just looking for maybe like paper instead of plastic packaging, because the paper will likely be recyclable. We don't know if the plastic will be or not. It just kind of depends on what it is. You could also just try to buy less in general. That reduces your carbon footprint a lot because we're making less products that are going to have to be extracted from the earth. So buying less in general, if you're able to do that, is a great way to reduce your carbon footprint too.
Okay, very great tips. And before we go, recycling is a big component of what you do. How can we be better, if that is our resolution, to do recycling correctly?
Yes, so it is a great idea to know what's recyclable in your area. And if you live in Greensboro, we're going to recycle paper and cardboard, metal food and drink cans, and plastic bottles, tubs, and jugs. And that is it. When in doubt, you're going to throw it out. We're going to be done with wish cycling. Wish cycling in 2023 is gone.
Okay, no more contaminated containers, all of it.
Yes, and you can look on the app to find out what's recyclable if you don't know the GSO Collects app. And you can follow us on social media. We post a lot of good tips there at GSO Goes Green.
Perfect. Well, Macy, thank you for encouraging us to make a wasteless resolution in 2023. I'm going to check out the recyclable Ziplocs. And we look forward to you stopping by again and sharing more great tips.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Thank you. Stay tuned for some interesting and useful information about Greensboro as we tell you something about the city. That's coming up after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. One way to stay informed about decisions that impact you and our city is by attending or tuning in to City Council meetings at 5:30 p.m. on the first and third Tuesday of the month. The fourth Tuesday is reserved for a meeting as needed. The City Council has resumed meeting in the Katie Dorset Council Chamber on Level 2 of the Melvin Municipal Office Building located at 300 West Washington Street. The public is allowed in person, but only in a limited capacity. Those who choose not to be in the building can participate virtually. The Greensboro City Council meetings are broadcast right here on GTN. The meetings are also streamed live on the city's website and on Roku. To review the council meeting schedule and agendas, please visit the city's website. Here's an opportunity to learn a little something about the city. The Greensboro City Council is making it easier for public service employees to accomplish home ownership. Council approved the Public Service Heroes Home Buyer Program as an incentive for moderate-income public service workers. To qualify, they must purchase a home in the Greensboro city limits to encourage home buying in areas of reinvestment. Applicants can apply for the city's Down Payment Assistant Program, which provides down payment and closing costs for a forgivable 5-year loan. This is limited to households with public service workers employed by the City of Greensboro, Guilford County public school teachers and administration, as well as military and military veterans earning 80 to 120% of the area median income. In other City Council news, the city's second social district was approved for State Street. Social districts allow for roving consumption of alcohol during designated times and within a specific area. City Council established the first social district in the downtown area back in March 2022. Coming up after the break, we'll showcase our department spotlight, but first, prepare to mark your calendars for the places to go and things to do on the town.
In Greensboro, we're fortunate to enjoy this week's events on the town. The 2023 Triad Jewish Film Festival runs from January 19th through February 2nd with both in-person and virtual showings. The Wedding Plan shows in person at the Sutton Theater in the Wellspring community at 7:30 p.m. on January 19th. Head over to mytjff.com for the full listing of films and ticket information. Runners and coffee lovers unite for the Java Jog on January 21st at Barber Park. A 10K race begins at 8 a.m., followed by a 5K at 8:30. Start your day with Java, sunrise, good friends, and a good run. Registration starts at $35 online at runsignup.com. Grammy Award-winning violinist James Ennis joins the Greensboro Symphony for a performance on January 21st at the Tanger Center in downtown Greensboro. One of the world's most sought-after performers, the Canadian is slated to play Beethoven's Violin Concerto. Learn more and buy tickets at tangercenter.com. Enjoy a mystery performance and a fine meal at the Dinner Detective Murder Mystery Show. Any audience member can end up with a part in this interactive show. The dinner is offered 8 times between January 21st and April 15th at the Greensboro High Point Marriott Airport Hotel. For the full schedule and ticket details, visit thedinnerdetective.com. Before the GPS, there was the map and compass, and Jennifer Phelps of Greensboro Parks and Recreation welcomes individuals to learn how to use them on January 22nd on the Price Park Orienteering courses. This free event starts at 3 p.m. at the Kathleen Clay Edwards Family Branch Library. Register online at greensboronc.gov. Stay tuned to FYI Weekly for more happenings on the town.
Welcome back. The City of Greensboro has more than 20 departments and several divisions committed to serving you, our residents and visitors. Let's go behind the scenes in our department spotlight. The Office of Sustainability and Resilience was established 7 months ago. It's managed by Dr. Sri Dorastant, the city's first Chief Sustainability Officer. The office provides leadership, stewardship, and engagement by influencing positive action and creating measurable sustainability goals. Sustainability involves meeting and maintaining our current needs by reducing the use of the Earth's natural and personal resources in order to avoid depletion. The City of Greensboro is committed to deploying sustainable practices in everyday living to help balance the economic viability, environmental protection, and social equity of Greensboro. Dr. Dorastant recently updated the Strategic Energy Plan, or SEP. This received City Council approval in order to implement and execute related actions. Adoption of the SEP demonstrates the city's commitment to prioritizing sustainability through leadership in environmental stewardship, social equity, and resilient economy. For more information about the Office of Sustainability and Resilience or to read the Strategic Energy Plan, please visit the city's website. Straight ahead on the other side of the break is this week's Way to Go GSO shout out. Stay with us. As we draw to a close, we always want to end on a positive note with our Way to Go GSO shout out. This week's shout out goes to the Gillespie Golf Course. Congratulations to Bob Brooks, manager of the Gillespie Golf Course. He is the winner of the 2022 Carolinas PGA Section Patriot Award for his work helping veterans re-enter the game of golf with the PGA Hope program. The honor bestows special recognition on a PGA golf professional who personifies patriotism through the game of golf and demonstrates commitment and dedication to our veterans. Way to go, Bob. That concludes this edition of FYI Weekly, but you can easily stay connected to the latest city news by linking to us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. Alexa users can subscribe to our 5-minute flash briefings, which airs on 90.1 FM and 100.7 FM. Be sure to download both weekly podcasts, Talk City Greensboro and Connect GSO. Plus, GTN is streaming on Roku. For all of us here at the City of Greensboro, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.